G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today's April 11, 2023. This is a special edition for a gold update as a request by a friend of mine who's also one of the viewers, and he's asked me to do a long-term outlook for gold and where we're heading and where we've been. So in addition to the frequent update I do on gold and other commodities, this is in addition to today's gold updates. I go to the channel and reference today's daily gold update. But this is just a long-term outlook in terms of where gold is. First up here we've got the price chart, and I've got some fractals added to that price chart. And also these, you'll notice there's a key support area at 1046 and a resistance area at 2075, and this is on the monthly chart. And I've also drawn this diagonal ascending trend line across those bottoms there, just as a potential trend follower. The second chart down here is the CCI 150 with a moving average applied to it, and that shows you the general movement of that moving average and where the price potentially starts weakening. Again, just be mindful this is over months, not on a daily range, so I'll cover that in a second. And down here we've got an oscillator, and this is a multiple moving average oscillator, and the way to read this is when it's above the zero line, such as there, you'll notice that's when prices start to accelerate. And when the price falls, especially below the oscillator, that's where it's less movement. So you notice here, for example, in that green area down here, even though the green was accelerating, there was very minimal price movement in that area there. Likewise over here, when that was below the zero line, there was very minimal price movement. But as soon as it broke above the zero line, such as in that point there, that's when you started seeing more price movement accelerate as well. So from that point there, that's where you saw that movement. Likewise, that's where we are today. We're seeing that break above the oscillator, and that's where we saw a lot more price movement over the last couple of years from that point on up there. So basically where we are today, we had a bit of weakening in the price, as you can see there in that oscillator, and that's where the price fluctuated sideways within that minor support band at 1615 to the 2075 resistance area. So where are we today? Again, just looking at the CCI 150 as well, that momentum showed you it was weakening, and when it fell below, that started turning red. Now that was obviously months in advance, but it started getting weakening, and it just told you that the price was weakening over that period until more recently. Since 2019, the price started accelerating as per the oscillator, but also as per the CCI 150, and that's still in an upward movement, which is a positive. So in other words, the price hasn't fallen off yet, although it did break below the moving average at that point there. So where we are today on the oscillator, you'll notice the CCI 150 is still in an uptick, in a green momentum, bullish momentum, and our oscillator is also turned green as well. So that's a big bullish signal to be mindful of, and that's where we're looking at going further north in terms of price action. Now, to be more bullish as well, we want to see a break above this resistance, and that's what we talk about in our daily update at 2075. If it breaks above that, we're going to see both of these indicators turn more positive and more bullish. So that's our key area of focus at the moment. Now, in the short term, we may see a bit of a retrace to the downside, like it has done in a few of these areas back here, in particular down here, for example. So let's not panic and sell the house if it goes to the downside. But in a longer term outlook, we're more bullish on gold, especially if it breaks above this key resistance area. So hopefully you found that useful, in addition to the daily updates we provide. And to understand how to properly trade using the average down approach, reference the links in the description below. Subscribe to us on Patreon for added support, and we'll see you in a future video.